Okay, now we're live. Hey everybody, it's Luke at Mushroom, and we are here in New York walking to a Japanese supermarket to buy some supplies because as I'm sure all of you know, a lot of people are staying at home, including us, mostly trying to avoid what's called social contact. You don't want to have contact with too many people, and so it can be a good idea to kind of stay indoors and stay away from other people, eat at home. It's not so bad to, only stay at home. You can go out, but you want to limit your social contact so that you can lower the chance of spreading things around. So anyway, we're going to a local supermarket and we're going to get some stuff. What are we getting, Mushroom? What are you buying? Ramen?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Some frozen food.
I'm thinking about risking a coffee at Starbucks. What do you think about that?
Coffee?
Do you think I should? No. We probably, so we have masks. I have a mask. Mushroom is wearing hers. The crazy thing is, New York right now is one of the areas that has the fastest growing spread of this virus, but a lot of people don't wear masks. Most people are not, which I think is kind of crazy because when you get close to people, there's a chance, especially when you're, a foot away. So, Anyway, we'll be going there. We're going to be walking through the cemetery as we usually do. I look like Sub-Zero. No, I'm not Sub-Zero. Actually, this is just a jacket. It's actually not that cold. Did you miss something? We can cross right there. Yeah. Is the sound okay, guys? As we go, I'm happy to answer any English questions you may have. Grammar, pronunciation, culture, whatever it may be. Happy to answer any questions you might have. As we walk along, we're going to go through the cemetery, and then we're going to go to a place called Forest Hills, where there is a small local Japanese supermarket. Wonder how busy the traffic is. Let's check out the traffic, see if it's lighter. Yeah, there's still quite a lot of cars on the road. That looks about normal, I would say. Normal. Maybe a little bit less. But I mean, activity is about the same as usual. Explain pump up. Well, one meaning of pump up is to fill something with air. There's a kind of shoes that maybe Nike came out with called Nike Pumps. And you had a pump on the tongue of the shoe and you squeeze it. And you actually pump the shoes up. Let's cross here. So that's sort of the basic meaning. Something that doesn't have air in it and you want to put air in it. You pump it up with air. But there is a much more common meaning of pump up, which is to get excited about something, often related to sports or activities that you're going to get involved in, to get into what you're doing, especially beforehand, maybe before the event, before the competition, before the match or game. So you can say, listening to hip-hop music really pumps me up before a game. Right? I get pumped up before a game by listening to hip-hop music. Let's see. I might go to a cemetery to get pumped up about doing my live stream. No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That's stupid. But the idea is get excited. Often, it doesn't have to be music. For example, it could be a coach's speech. We're gonna win, you guys are the best. Get very excited and get pumped up. Go out there, defeat the other team, or lose by 100 points. So it's just more of your emotional condition. So that's the two ways that we use it. Generally speaking, we're entering into the cemetery. Hello, sweetheart. Wait a second, are you talking to me? I'm a sweetheart? Hey, honey.
What?
Honey, sweetheart. Ooh, such wonderful words. There's more chance to check it by fixing a dirty mask with dirty hands. So hygiene is more efficient than masks. Well, hygiene is very important. It's true. You're right. You don't want, if you have dirty hands and you touch a mask, well, then it's all pointless. We just ordered some new masks, one-time use masks. How many did we order?
100?
140, right?
No. 180 something else.
180. So that should last us how long?
Maybe 2-3
Nine?
months.
No, 2 months. I think that would last us 2 months because there are two of us.
Because you're planning to go out every single day.
That's right, but I will just walk in the cemetery, Mushroom. I don't need to wear a mask in the cemetery.
You do.
There's nobody here.
What do you
The squirrels don't have the virus.
No, I'm talking if you come across some people facing the
Not so much.
go downstairs. No, you don't know how you don't know what's gonna happen.
I think the most important thing is if you go in the subway, you need the mask. If you go around people too much in a store, but just walking by someone kind of far away in the street, like
See, that's the
this
kind
guy,
of-
that's the distance is too much, I think.
I know, but you have I don't know.
By the way, guys,
Keep my breath.
I don't know if it's gonna work. By the way, guys, make sure if you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button. I really appreciate it. 1,000 times I appreciate it. And also subscribe so that you can see my future courses, or videos and live streams. And in the links in the description, there's a link to my courses on both Udemy and Skillshare. You can check that out if you want to, but you don't have to. Anyway, let's take a look at the... I've been here before on a live stream, so this is not new to all of you. It just happens to be in between where we're going and where we live, so that's where we're going. We're going to, for those of you who just joined, we're going to a Japanese supermarket to get some supplies to eat at home. Ramen, right, Mushroom? Ramen noodles, instant ramen.
Is that camera on my face?
Yeah, it was. You look great.
Thanks.
And the best way to get there is through the supermarket. I mean, through the cemetery. Through the super... I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, everyone. Sorry I'm so dumb. How embarrassing. Not that embarrassing, but a little bit. Luke, how did you change your routine somehow due to the virus? That's actually a very good question.
You know what? I like my bag so much.
Let's do a quick bag review. Okay, what's the brand of this bag?
I don't
This
know how
is-
to pronounce.
I don't know how to say that either. Lolly Lolly? I think that's French. How do you say that?
We're not going
Oh, yeah,
to
they
do
haven't-
promotion. What are you doing?
They haven't sponsored us.
Oh yeah.
But no, I like their bags too. I have one.
Look at the color.
Seriously, Lolly Lolly, how do you... Is that pronounced saute? Or is it cote? How do you say that? I think that's French.
I said all the
Lolly Lolly's French. Well, anyway. So, Sleepwalker asked how we change our routine due to the virus. As I like to say it. How do you say it? Do you say virus or virus?
virus.
The virus. Well, definitely my routine has probably changed less than most other people's because I work at home and I don't go out as often as other people. So for me, I think my thing is just to wash my hands even more than I did before. And
Hey, officially 6 times a day.
yeah, 6 times a day at least, but probably more than that. Definitely more than that. Probably 20 times a day, a lot. And I try to limit my close contact with others. If I need something, rather than thinking, oh, maybe I'll go out and get that, my first thought will be, oh, can I order that online? I mean, I kind of did that anyway, but we're walking straight through. Yeah, thank you. My first thought will be, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, maybe I'll go to the supermarket and get it. Now, my first thought is, I'll buy it online. Anything. Canned food, cat litter, soap, even groceries. That's pretty much it for me. What about you, Mushroom? What's different?
I have to work from home from Monday to Friday. And I have a lot of meetings and calls. And I also need to work on my own stuff.
Yeah.
It's a big change. I don't like it.
Well, so Mushroom usually works in an office, and now she has to work at home. And that's obviously less convenient, but how much less convenient is it? I mean, working with other people, communicating with other people, is it that much inconvenient? Is it really?
No, it's not.
What do you like about it?
I don't have to get up when I get on the train.
Yeah.
Save a
So you can
lot of
sleep in
time
a little
to
bit.
sleep, yeah.
Anything else?
Otherwise, it's the same.
What about
But
this?
also, I like to I like to be in the work environment with all my colleagues together. We
Yeah.
joke around. We work together. We have physical workshops going on.
So you like the
Those
work?
are really fun. A little joy at work.
So you missed that part.
I do. But we figure out another way.
I mean, do you still feel like you have a feeling of fun and that sort of laughing communication when you're at work? I mean, online at work.
No, I mean, well, I still talk very closely to my colleagues that we still work very closely. We just make phone calls all the time.
Yeah.
It's a very good tip. You have to have a headphone when you work from home. It's very helpful.
Now it's kind of harder for people because everyone has AirPods. So
That's not working well.
you got to have a pair of wired headphones.
After 1 hour meeting, so I usually have 4 or 5 individual 1 hour meetings every single day.
Yeah.
If I start to use iPod, it's gonna die in 1 hour.
Yeah.
Less than 1 hour. So.
Yeah. Video calls. You want to cross here?
Yeah.
Video calls for sure will kill. Hurry up. The Korean church there. So video calls for sure will kill your AirPod battery in an hour or a little bit more than an hour.
Less than an hour.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so you got to have some wired headphones. And you got to also have a platform to talk to people on. What's the best platform for just chatting and having sort of a relaxed atmosphere when you work online?
Me? You're asking me?
Yeah. Jabber?
Yeah, Jabber. Because in my company, all the people use Jabber. They also link in to your email address. So everyone using that to communication purpose. And some of the people use Microsoft.
Ugh.
No. When you work in finance, they all use Microsoft. No matter what,
Outlook. Oh my God, Outlook.
That's
Ugh.
more secure, you know?
I know Outlook is secure, but it's just so boring.
I mean,
Microsoft Outlook is horrible.
The functionality is still good. It's working well, so don't worry about that. I only receive email, send email, and use Jabber to communicate with people instead of meetings. That's it. That's all I'm using. I don't use PowerPoint or Excel sheets.
She doesn't use PowerPoint. Okay.
You know, sometimes I do, but not very often.
This live stream is brought to you by our sponsor today is Microsoft Outlook.
Jabber. As well.
Jabber. Microsoft Outlook sucks, but they're sponsoring this. They're sponsoring us, paying us a lot of money to say that they suck, and they're terrible.
Also Slack. Well, we start.
I don't really like Slack that much, but also I haven't used it that much. So.
We use Microsoft Teams, so that's fine.
Is Jabber something that everybody can use? Can everybody use Jabber, even if you're not a professional, or is Jabber only for sort of a chat thing for professionals?
I think that everyone can use that. It's quite expensive. It's kind of like enterprise system, that enterprise software that people, usually a large company will use it. So basic function is you can communicate with people, and you can ask.
Can you guys hear her? Can you guys hear what she's saying? I just wanted to make sure you guys can hear. I think they can hear you.
Basic information, communicating, group chat, make a call directly, and make a group chat directly, and also you can share your screen. That is very important.
Yeah, that is very important. For anything that's related to work, screen sharing, so that you can draw pictures of your boss and make fun of them, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very important.
I need a couple.
You hear her clearly? Oh, not clearly. Okay, not well. At least you can hear her a little bit, right? So we were just talking about how things are affected by the virus, and I think both of us are affected, but definitely her more than me, because I work at home anyway. So
he doesn't change his routine that much. The
really
only
not.
thing might be you still order food from the certain company.
Right. I've stopped basically.
You cook from home.
Yeah.
More often.
We ordered a bunch of canned foods. So there's a kind of organic soup, and I ordered maybe 30 cans of Amy's organic soups instead of ordering from a restaurant. So the main thing is, I think, to avoid ordering from regular restaurants, because you don't know how many people are walking around, how many people have the virus, but they don't know. And so you got to be careful with that kind of thing. That's one of the things that stopped in China too.
All right, should we cross this?
We can. Yeah, we can go over this. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. No, we have to get across that highway first,
All right.
and then we can go. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, we have to go under that underpass that smells like pee.
Oh, I know that.
Could you say some examples of using the word fulfill? That's actually an interesting question, because you can use it in so many different ways. So,
Shamir used that a lot.
fulfill? Oh, I shouldn't do that. I didn't say that.
No, you didn't.
So, fulfill has interesting meanings or interesting uses. They're very different. One basic meaning is when someone orders something, or there is a request, or maybe someone charges you something, and when you get that, you fulfill that. For example, if it's an online order, then when you put the thing in the box, and when you send the box out, and when you do all of the things you have to do, as the seller, you fulfill the order. Okay. But we can use it in a more abstract or general way. For example, if you have a duty or your responsibility, maybe you're a police officer, for example, and they have asked you, your leader has asked you to come into work, and you say, oh, but it's dangerous out there. You must fulfill your obligations, fulfill your duty, fulfill your responsibilities. So that's used more generally to mean do what you're supposed to do, take care of the things you're supposed to take care of. You could talk about your obligation or your duties to your family. You must fulfill your obligations, your duties to each of your family members, parents and your children. Okay, so that's the way that we use it to mean do something. But it has another interesting usage, and that is an adjective, and that is fulfilling and fulfilled. So, if you do something and when you do it, you feel like you're adding a lot of value, and you feel personally satisfied. Yeah, you feel personally satisfied about what you're doing. It gives you a feeling of, wow, whatever I'm doing now, I'm adding something to other people's lives. It makes me feel good about myself. So we could say, my job is very fulfilling. I have a very fulfilling job. But it doesn't have to be a job. It could be an activity, it could be volunteering. I feel so fulfilled when I volunteer to help others. It's such a fulfilling experience. Now, what's the difference between fulfilled and fulfilling? So, fulfilling would be when you're talking about the activity. Volunteering is fulfilling. That thing that I'm doing is fulfilling. Then the feeling inside that I have, I'm so fulfilled by it. I'm fulfilled by volunteering. Sounds a little cheesy and a little weird, but that would be correct. So that's generally how we use that word. Good question. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. I would appreciate that. Appreciate hitting the like button. We're out here risking our lives. At least you can hit the like button. We can go this way. And also subscribe and look in the links if you want to take my courses. There is a large sale going on. I put all of my courses on sale for people who are especially staying at home. So if you want to get any of my courses on a very big discount right now. You can click on the link and then you put in the discount code. Oh, now I forget. It's either stay home or staying home. STAYHOME or STAYINGHOME. And I can't remember. Now I forget which one it is. One of those two you can try. And it's up to 95% off. A huge discount. Almost unbelievable. I feel a little guilty giving discounts that big. Mushroom, look at this. They closed the school. I mean, it's Sunday, but that's what it would look like. That's what it's going to look like tomorrow on Monday if it closed.
Officially announced?
Many schools are closed.
On Monday?
A lot of schools will look like this even tomorrow and throughout the week.
It's high school?
I don't know exactly which ones are closed, but they have been closing some schools. They have been shutting down some schools, and they have been making some students stay home and have some teachers go home. They've been very careful with how they do it. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I know in Seattle, I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think all of the schools in Seattle are closed. Now the reason that it's not easy to just shut the schools down, you know why?
I do.
Mostly it's because of the medical workers. Because you need the medical workers, that's thousands and thousands of people, to go to the hospital, to drive the ambulances, to do surgeries, to take care of people, especially when there are going to be more and more patients in the hospitals because of the outbreak, right? And if their kids are at home, if they have a little baby, who is going to take care of their kids? So now you have hundreds and thousands of people who don't have somebody to take care of their kids. Normally their kids would be in daycare or at school. Yeah, well, if the daycares are closed and the schools are closed, then they're just at home alone. That's a big problem. And then also there's a school lunch problem where a lot of poor families especially can't afford, they depend on free or cheap school lunches to feed their children, right? And if they don't have that, if their kids don't get those school lunches, then they can't afford food. And so that's a big problem. I'm not saying only in New York, I mean just in general, right? And so if they can't afford lunches and they have to work and they can't work and their kids are home, it's going to cause a lot of, family problems. And if there are a lot of family problems, that means there are a lot of social problems. So I'm not sure if all the schools will be closed or what, but it's going to get pretty crazy, especially here in New York. I've heard something like probably everyone should just assume they have it. Just assume you have it. You probably do. You probably have it, Mushroom. You don't need to wear the mask. We probably both just have it. That's what I saw that on the news. Just assume you have it. I don't know.
And then what is the next sentence?
And don't infect others. What? Your wife makes this lesson special. What? Like the way she speaks English language. It's cool to listen to two native English speakers having an organic conversation. Wait a second. Wait, Mushroom. Mushroom, did you hear that? Someone just called you a native English speaker. How do you feel about that?
I think nothing. No, it doesn't. Feel happy about that.
Let me tell you what, guys. This is going to be a shocker. But Mushroom, this lady right here with the mask, she is not a native English speaker.
I'm from China.
She's from China. Although I have to say her English is pretty good, she's not a native English speaker. Right?
Well, thank you so much.
She said thank you. She looks good, and her English is good, but she's not a native English speaker.
Uncheck?
Huh?
Uncheck the last box.
Yeah, that's right. Check it. Check it off. Your non-native English speaker status has been approved. Welcome to the club. How to understand the phrase "you know Me in your marrow. Oh no. Well, I guess I can answer that, although the question is a little weird. So if someone ever says, I feel it in my marrow, or I know it in my marrow, usually we don't say I know you in my marrow. That's a little weird. But we might say I know something in my marrow, or I feel it in my marrow. We also will say I feel it in my bones. The marrow, M-A-R-R-O-W, is the slightly soft jelly stuff inside your bones. Yeah. So it's sort of like deep inside your bones. So what does that really mean? Well, it really just means that it's a very deep feeling. If it's information, you say, I know it. I know it's true. The earth is flat. It's not a sphere, it's flat. So I know it. Wow, yeah, look at that. People are playing. Don't step on the poop. Oh my God. I'm poop on the. God. Wow, Mushroom, look at the cherry blossom tree. The kids playing together. Are you sure that's smart?
I am not sure about that.
That doesn't seem very smart. That doesn't seem very wise. I wouldn't let my kids play with other kids.
Listen, this is the problem, you know? This is a big problem.
This is a very big problem. This is the kind of thing that spreads it. It's not like these...
Especially spring is coming.
Right, spring is coming. Well, the problem is not that these kids are going to get sick, because so far I haven't seen many cases of children, but they're going to take it home to their grandma, and their grandma's going to get sick. That's the problem. They're little disease spreaders. That's what they are. Little spreaders of virus. Scary stuff. Doesn't seem like a very good idea. Why? Why are they doing that? What's wrong with them? What about you guys? Are you guys, where are you located? Are you staying home? Are you going out? Is everything normal for you? I'd like to hear some of your experiences as well. Let's see. So yeah, the marrow question is the stuff in your bones, but what we really mean when we say it is, I know it deeply. The earth is flat. I can feel that that's true. Or I feel something so deeply, so much a part of me that I could never give this belief up. I know it in the marrow of my bones. That's the idea. That's the meaning. Her English passes for native. She motivates me to continue improving. You hear that, Mushroom? Passes for native.
Huh?
Her English passes for native. That's what he said. Guys, I think, well, that's good. I'm glad she motivates you, but maybe we should have her speak for longer before we decide if she passes for native. No offense, Mushroom. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what?
Yeah?
Your pronunciation is really good.
Oh,
Oh, look, flowers. Wow, beautiful. You have really natural pronunciation. You don't have that strong Chinglish pronunciation sound. It's very strong Chinglish sound. Is so easy to hear, but you don't have.
Stop it. It's not nice.
You don't have it. Why not?
I don't know. I think that God made me like this.
God made you like this. Okay, that makes sense. I get it. I get it. Okay, we're getting close to the Japanese place. I might be putting on my mask in a second. As we get closer, there seems to be more and more people around.
What? I just want to ask you a question.
What?
I brushed my teeth
Yeah.
and I washed my mouth as well before I left.
Mm-hmm.
But I still smell my mouth is really bad.
Yeah, well,
This
that's...
is how you notice how bad your breath is.
If you really want to know how bad your breath is, put on a mask, exactly. It will
For more
trap
than
all of the
half hour.
smell. Yeah.
I know. Do that now.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear it. Okay. I might put my mask on if I go inside the store.
And I will have to get all of those dishes and
gonna put my mask on for a while because we're getting close to the store, and also this area is getting more busy.
True.
There we go. Okay. Good. I think mine doesn't smell. Mine doesn't smell that bad.
Because you just put it on.
So you think after a while it'll start to smell bad?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So, if you guys have any other questions, especially English questions, whatever questions, let me know. And just self-quarantine already. I mean, we pretty much are, but sometimes you do need to go out and get stuff, right? I agree, it's smart to self-quarantine, but that doesn't mean you can never go out. So sometimes you have to get stuff. Sometimes you need to buy some stuff. And that's what we're doing. That's what we are doing. But I might not go in the store.
How do I know? What do you want?
I don't want anything.
Maybe that's fine. What do you want? Just let me know.
Well, no, whatever you're gonna get is fine. I really don't need anything.
You want ramen?
I'm good. What?
Ramen.
Donuts?
Ramen.
Oh, ramen. Yeah, just get some ramen. That's fine.
Curry?
Curry?
I think there's like 3 packs of curry, but I don't know.
I don't know, because then we have to get rice, and we don't have.
I ordered
White
rice,
rice.
but the rice is gonna deliver end of this month.
I don't know. If you want to.
Well, good luck to me.
Okay. Good luck.
Look at those people are not wearing any masks. I don't want
Yeah.
to.
See, so many people in the store are not wearing masks.
Yeah, I don't want to make people feel scared about me, but whatever.
They should be wearing masks. Not
I know.
crazy. So. It's just smart, Lolly. I know you said it scares you a little bit, but the fact is, it's just smart. If you have an outbreak like we have here in New York and you don't wear a mask, you are adding to the problem. And if it spreads quickly, one of the reasons it's spreading is because I don't mean you, Lolly, I mean anybody, are not you're not stopping your mouth spray from going out everywhere, right? So I think it's sort of responsible to do your part, and I don't mean you, Lolly, I mean just anybody, responsible to do your part to limit the spread of the virus. That's what I'm doing. So I don't know. I just want to have the situation end as quickly as possible, so that I don't have to worry about it for the next 8 months. I want it to be over with ASAP. So that is why I'm wearing a mask. Seems like Mortal Kombat. Yeah, and I mean so the crazy thing to me is right now the US is recommending that people don't wear masks. Now, if you've seen my video, my video about masks, I read some papers, and the scientific papers I read basically said wearing a mask does help. It reduces the spread by up to 70%, right? Which is actually a lot. And so I don't understand the advice from the American government that says you don't need to wear a mask. It's okay, it's fine. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I think that's kind of irresponsible and even dangerous. So that's why I'm wearing one. And I think that hopefully, I'm also trying to normalize it, right? I want people to see, oh, that guy's wearing a mask. Maybe I should buy a mask. I'm trying to normalize the behavior to make it feel like it's normal instead of weird. Right now, I still feel kind of like a weirdo, but I shouldn't be the one who feels like a weirdo. Everyone else should be the one who feels like a weirdo, because they're not, right? And then people will look at me like they're scared of me, like I'm the one who has it. But actually, I'm less likely to have it than other people because I'm wearing the mask. So actually, the sort of ironic thing is, if you're going to be scared of someone, you should be scared of someone who doesn't have one. rather than someone who does, right? I mean, I know it's kind of counterintuitive and seems for a second like that doesn't make sense, but it really does. I think it makes sense. Anyway, that's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. But only when I'm around a lot of people like this, sort of crowded setting. This is the Japanese supermarket, Sakuraya. March is actually the time when the Sakura festival starts to happen. I think it happens at the beginning of April, actually. So I guess it's pretty soon. So beginning of next month, they'll start the Sakura festival in Japan. That's the pink flower festival. And I've been to Japan during that time. It's so beautiful. The flowers fall down from the trees onto the water and flow down the river, and they're everywhere. Pink flowers. It's really beautiful, really nice. Very beautiful and nice. Maybe we can walk around a little bit to see what else is going on. Yeah, Sakura. Sakura. This area is called Forest Hills. That's what it's called, Forest Hills. And that's a big church there. Huge church. And that's the train there. The train goes over there. And it's a nice neighborhood, a very nice neighborhood. But it definitely seems less crowded than it normally does. Most definitely. Absolutely. Austin Street. If you guys want to look up where I am, I'm on Austin Street and Ascan Avenue. Casey Master says, guys, have no fear, I'm here. Casey, what are you going to do for us? Hey, DFC Garage, hello. I know that guy. You were first here because of the HelloTalk group classes that I do, which, by the way, I still do. Every Saturday, I teach a HelloTalk group live class, which is quite a lot of fun. Casey, what are you going to do for us? How are you going to help us? Now that you're here, what are you going to do about what's going on here? Whatever is going on here. I think Mushroom's going to get some... these pictures are kind of faded. Kind of depressing. I feel like...
Yeah, we're going to eat at home, buddy.
Yes, I do have N95 masks, and I just ordered some more N95 and surgical masks, and so they should be arriving in about a week. Maybe 180 of them, something like that, from China. Kind of ironically, a little bit ironically.
Are those,
What I was going to say is, I feel like stores like this should update their pictures more often, because when they get really faded like this, like look at that. Does that look delicious to you? That's light green, light blue. Everything is faded, not colorful. Looks kind of gross. If I owned a store, I would make sure to update these pictures maybe at least once every 6 months. How long has it taken to ship the masks? Not that long, just a few days actually. Just a few days. They should be arriving pretty soon. Rolfie says, what I don't get is, why are people buying so much toilet paper? I've seen people buying more toilet paper than food. There is even a video of 2 women fighting over toilet paper. Yeah, I might have seen the same video. I think there are several of them. People fighting over toilet paper in the supermarket, right? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I guess people are just scared that they're not going to have something to wipe their butts. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny and sad. I saw one video where someone had 2 pieces of toilet paper in a skillet, and they were actually cooking 2 pieces of toilet paper, which is funny. So I don't know. Why toilet paper? Why not food? It's a good question. It's a good question. I haven't seen any. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody actually fighting over toilet paper I think I have lots of toilet paper at my house and wet wipes as well if I need that, so I'm not too worried about it. But just like you were saying, I don't feel like that is the most urgent thing. It seems like, you know, if you're going to really be worried about something, why not worry about I don't know, food, cans of beans, soup? Fight over that. Why fight over toilet paper? Who knows? It's very strange. I do understand the hand sanitizer one, because if people feel like they can't get hand sanitizer, then they feel like they can't clean themselves, they can't stay hygienic, then people start to worry. So that kind of makes sense. So I have seen, you know, shortages of that, people going, oh my god, I can't get hand sanitizer. At least I understand. I think there's sort of a balance here, that you have to find the balance between intelligent action and fear. If you just make actions based on fear, I'm so scared, what do I do? Do something! Then that's not going to help anything, and you're probably going to do something stupid. But if you make an action that you thought about, it does make sense to have some hand sanitizer and cans of soup, just in case that becomes very rare, because other people are losing their minds, then you might buy that stuff early and have it just in case. Anyway, and masks, you know, you hear people saying, oh, you don't need a mask. Well, if you really study it, you see that actually masks do help, and you want to prevent the spread of it so that everything can get back to normal as soon as possible. What are the smart actions to take? I mean, that's sort of my opinion on it. Anyway. Sleepwalker, what do you do about French food shops? Did you notice any empty... Oh, that's for Lolly Lolly to answer, not me. I haven't seen any French food shops. No French food shops, oh my god! At the beginning in Germany, the government didn't take any measures. They'd be like, just simple flu, wash your hands. Yeah, now everybody's getting serious, which is good. I think people should get serious. If I made a big mistake, can I say that I stained the rug? Art, I have not heard that one before. I mean, you'd use stain the rug if your dog peed on the rug, right? Oh, you stained the rug. The dog peed on the rug, or you spilled a glass of wine on the rug in your house, then you would say that, maybe. Otherwise, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that for mistakes. This virus is going to create more psychological disorders than physical damage. Yes, you're probably right about that. I think that's true. The economic side of it, the psychological side of it. I mean, I talked about that in another live stream. By the way, guys, I am planning on doing a live stream tomorrow in the studio, answering questions and talking about some topics. So make sure to come back tomorrow for that one. More normal style live stream with in the pink room. That's what I like to call it. The pink room. In the pink room. So yeah, come back tomorrow. Probably a little earlier in the day. Probably around 1 p.m. I think around 1 p.m. If you have any specific questions you'd like me to talk about or prepare for tomorrow, let me know. Let me know. By the way, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. That really helps out. Subscribe. And also check out my links in the courses. As I mentioned, there's a big sale going on. A huge sale for the next 3 days. The biggest possible discount on all of the courses. If you go to my Udemy page and at the checkout you put in the code, it's either stay home or staying home. I forget which one it is. I should know. Stay home or staying home, and you can get the huge discount. Yeah. So, yeah, Lolly Lolly. Actually, you didn't answer someone else's question, Lolly Lolly. So you have to answer Sleepwalker's question. Sleepwalker said, Lolly Lolly, what about French food shops? Did you notice any empty shelves? Did you, Lolly Lolly? Did you notice any empty shelves? Huh? Huh? Tell us. Yeah, and then what about Donald Trump? So now they're doing stuff, right? But unfortunately, it's too late. And I was paying attention to this stuff. If you watched so I posted on Facebook to my friends and family. I'm not trying to brag, I'm just saying I did. At the beginning of the year, basically, saying this thing is happening in China, it's getting serious, you have to pay attention, be ready for it, it will be here, and you need to know now, right? And I don't think many people paid attention to that, but it turned out I was right. I mean, I just was. And the reason I was right is because I talk to Chinese students every day, I get their experiences. I've been paying attention very closely through personal friends and students to what's happening in China and how they resolve the issue. So, what did China do to resolve the issue? Well, number one, China has an extremely strong government, so they can take action very quickly. So there were issues at first where they weren't recognizing that it was real, they didn't want to acknowledge that it was a crisis, but then as soon as they had to recognize this is really happening, then they immediately took extremely strong action. And I have to give credit to the Chinese government for that. So they basically said, everybody stay home, and everybody did. Everybody I knew was staying home. I had some students who stayed home for 50 days. Some are still staying home. It is getting a lot better there, though. Anyway, they tried to report all the cases as quickly as possible. They did tests to as many people as needed tests as quickly as possible. They would give out kits so that you could test yourself. Now, there were big problems that happened in Wuhan. There were a lot of people who were dying in Wuhan and didn't have hospitalization or beds to stay in, so they built that hospital very quickly. And that hospital, as far as I know, just became a dying house. Pretty much everybody there just died, as far as I know. It wasn't there to save people, it was there to give people a place to die, in a bed at least, and keep them away from others. But in addition to that, they shut down all the schools. Every school is closed. Why is schools so important? Because if you leave schools open, the virus spreads like crazy among children who are always, touching each other and jumping all over each other. They don't get sick because they're kids so much, but then they bring it home to their parents and their grandparents and they get sick. So you gotta shut down the schools. That's very important, I think. I'll take one of those.
I'll put some in my bag as well.
Okay. Just one, maybe? One or two things?
Oh, I got this for you.
Nice.
I don't know this one. So this is the only thing that they have.
Ramen?
They 70% run out all the inventory.
Okay. That's fine, I can carry this. Whatever.
We had this before, so.
Did we?
Yeah, I got a 6.
You got 6 bags? Oh, whoa. New news. Hold on. News.
Let me see, I got news.
And New York City's public school system, the U.S.'s largest, will close to stem the spread of coronavirus. Okay, so we just got this news. Just happened on my screen. New York City's public school system is going to close. So I was just saying this. One of the most important things that was done in China was to close the schools, ask people to stay home, and do as many tests as possible.
Yeah, I think they're going to develop some of the test kits.
So that's those 3 things are the 3 most important things. And so the question was, how's Donald Trump doing? So, yeah, now in response, because of all the criticism, now they're doing better. Now they're announcing a state of emergency in the United States. They're providing more resources for testing kits. They are doing a much better job now. But the problem is not what they're doing now. The problem is not that they're not doing anything. It's just that they're not doing enough. They need to spend more money on testing. they need to spend more money getting people to feel safe about coming into a hospital if they need to or whatever. And right now people are thinking, well, if I have to spend $3,000 to get a test, I'm not going to do that because people don't have basic health insurance. Right. So
that's the kid is going to be free.
right. So they've finally agreed to do a free testing kit, and they've basically finally agreed that anyone who needs a test can get it. Okay. But the problem is that it's too late.
I think also I read the news today.
Yeah.
Amazon is going to deliver all the kits to individual companies.
That's cool. Okay, so that's the other good thing that they're doing is the government is trying to partner with big companies to solve some of these problems.
Hospital.
Right. Well, so Mushroom said that they're partnering with Amazon to send out the kits. I think that's a very good idea because they have a very good system for delivery anyway.
Instead of going to visit the hospital?
Yeah, and staying at home and testing yourself is much better. And the other thing that I heard is they're partnering with Google to build a website to get information out and show the results and handle a bunch of different things. Google is now building a website or an app for resolving this sort of thing.
Actually,
So they're
I was thinking about maybe I would do some contribution at this point, but it's just a little hard.
yeah, big companies seem to be handling it. So I think one good thing that Trump is doing is his administration, they're partnering with large companies to solve it as quickly as possible.
The large company wants to solve the problem as well.
Of course. Of course. They probably came to him with the idea. But the bad thing is just because it's so late. At first he said, oh, it's not even real, it's not even happening, it'll go away, don't worry about it, it's fine. Mom, you're walking too fast.
Sorry.
And when you can see, they could have looked at what's going on in China and said, oh my God, we need to get ready. That's what they should have done. We have to get ready. Look what's happening in China. We've got to get ready and prepare. Let's get the tests ready. Let's get the supply chain ready. Let's start making hand sanitizer. Let's have companies put extra toilet paper in their inventory. But they just said, it'll be fine. And it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. It'll go away by April. Well, that's wrong. And so I'm very critical of Donald Trump for not taking it seriously for too long and then only now taking action and trying to look great. And even now, when they have press conferences, he says, we're doing the best. No one's ever done better than this. This is the best response anyone's ever seen. So don't say that kind of thing. Just shut up and do things and say the facts. And
well, I think at this point, let's just don't take that too personal.
yeah, so anyway, that's my opinion. That's my take on it. I think
Do you want me to take care of that?
it's too late. No, it's okay. It's too late. Is it hard to breathe with the N95 masks? No, not too late.
Have you ever thrown up in 95?
Yeah. Ralphie says, I think the Salvador and Russia's presidents made a great job in their response. Well, I don't know. Haven't seen their responses. I'll take your word for it. Are we going directly home, Mushroom?
Yes.
Don't step on the poop.
You wanna join the community?
You want to go play with those kids, Mushroom?
I'm good. I don't know how to play with kids.
Do you have a death wish?
I do not. They're just kids.
Even playing, well, I know, but the thing is they're spreading it to their,
Maybe risky.
yeah, it's risky. I really think it's risky. Playing basketball too. I mean, basketball, touch
I want
basketball.
to share a story.
10 different people touch it.
2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I was sitting in an office
Yeah,
with all the people.
yeah.
Not office, just sitting on my desk.
You were sitting on your desk?
We were sitting behind my desk.
Oh, behind your desk.
And then I sneezed. I made a sneeze, and everyone was looking at me.
Now, any sneeze is suspicious. You sneeze, huh? Coronavirus? You have coronavirus?
Yeah. So people joke around with me all the time. Jing got infected. Got infected.
Do you feel that's a little bit racist?
No.
Because you're Chinese?
They're definitely joking around.
The Chinese lady got infected. It's a little racist.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Why I'm saying yeah?
Yeah. Being racist toward yourself. That's not healthy. Never be racist toward yourself, Mushroom. Okay, so we're heading back now. What? Oh, that wasn't a cough. I'm just clearing my throat.
I'm gonna go
I've been
away.
talking a lot. No, Mushroom.
See, that's exactly how I felt.
You're being racist toward your own husbandist. Russia is about 60 people who got the virus. Oh. This is called clearing your throat. That's not.
Now it's my turn.
Jagat says, I'm having problems on the toilet. So you're watching this live stream on the toilet? Well, push harder, I guess. I don't know, what kind of problems are you having? Do you want to describe them for us?
Do you have lucky berries?
There are a number of different possible problems that could happen. So it really depends on which one. I'd be more than happy to give my personal advice.
I can't wait to take off my mask.
Yeah. You probably can take it off, Mushroom, because we're not near anybody now, you know. Hey, UFC Garage, a super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That is so awesome. Yeah.
Is that for me or
Much
for
appreciated. Is that for Mushroom or is that for me? It's not for you. You're a racist toward your own husband. How could it be for you?
Why not?
Huh?
Don't show people.
This is what Mushroom looks like as a real human.
No. I don't want to show people.
It's
I
Mushroom.
don't want to show people my face.
Doesn't she look awesome? Mushroom, take your mask. Let us see you. Let us see you. Let me see you. So beautiful.
I'm not very comfortable showing my face in public.
Have you done something illegal and you're worried that the Google's algorithms are going to find you and notify the police?
Well, might be. I might accidentally done something pretty bad.
Pretty bad. Not too bad, but pretty bad.
Pretty bad,
Yeah, just very bad, not very, very bad. I see. I got it. All right, I think we should turn left here. I was thinking about going to Starbucks, but I think I can just have coffee at home.
I think we already discussed that. I'm not recommending you to go to Starbucks get a coffee.
But let's take a second to appreciate how cute this neighborhood is.
Yeah.
I think these little houses, when people think of New York, they don't think of, you know, a quiet little neighborhood like this. This is a quiet little neighborhood called Kew Gardens. That's the FBI building, by the way. There's FBI are in there watching that house. A bunch of criminals live there.
I like that green, huh?
Yeah, I like that one
So
too.
beautiful that is. Look at these colors. There's two colors.
Yeah, this one and this one together. We should buy the Mushroom.
Let's buy that tomorrow.
Okay. Mushroom and I are going to come back tomorrow and buy these two houses. It's a plan. Great. We're going to use the money that DFC Garage sent. It might be about $6. Something like that. Great. Great!
Cool.
So,
Coming.
yeah, the weather is beautiful. The sky is blue. Trees are blue. Grass is blue. Buildings are blue. Everything's blue. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's got kind of a European vibe to it as well. I mean, these buildings here, they have sort of that European-looking turret, rampart sort of thing going on. Those are called ramparts, and those are called turrets. I heard that is how the coronavirus started. What is how you heard the coronavirus started? You have to be a little more specific.
To be honest, Luke,
Yeah.
I have an idea.
You have an idea?
How about we clean our balcony
Yeah. Which balcony? Front or back? Okay. And then? You want to communicate with our neighbors. Well, I think we should clean our balcony. Our balcony is due to be cleaned. It's not very clean. Yeah, let's do it. Let's clean the balcony. Let's drink some gin and clean the balcony. The way that I heard it started, I've heard two different versions. One version is a conspiracy theory, and one is generally accepted. So there's a type of animal that has scales, but it looks kind of like an anteater, and it's called a pangolin. You can look that up, pangolin. Okay, and I heard, because in China people eat a lot of crazy stuff. That's true, right? They eat, especially these things called wet markets, where they just have all kinds of crazy wild animals. Of course, not all Chinese people eat that crazy stuff, but there are certain people that do. At these wet markets. One of these animals is known for having the coronavirus, or a version of the coronavirus inside of it. It's called a pangolin. Now, at first the stories were that it was a bat, but now the story is that it's a pangolin. Maybe pangolin, maybe bat, I don't know. But anyway, someone ate it. And it's rare that viruses jump from animals to humans, but it happens. So it jumped.
That part of information is still didn't get approved.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So the other theory that's going around is that actually it started in the United States. And there was a training exercise where soldiers from the United States went to Wuhan to train with Chinese soldiers in Wuhan, and this was a long time ago, and that actually those soldiers accidentally brought coronavirus to people in China, spread it to them, and that's where it started. So that's a very popular theory right now. The truth is nobody knows for sure. That's the truth. I don't know. Nobody knows. So we don't, who knows? Who really knows? I don't really care, actually. Hey, I think we can cross here, Mushroom, because the cemetery is closed now. The neighborhood has awesome... Oh, I missed that comment. Hold on. I'll check it. I gotta cross the road first. Let me cross the road. This is the FBI building here. FBI in there. That's right. The FBI. Yeah, let's keep going. The weather is great today. I really like the weather. It's not too cold, not too hot. Nice. Just take it off.
I don't want to.
You're gonna be fine.
No.
We're not near any people.
No.
You only need it when you go into a store or get on the subway or something, honestly. Frankly, Mushroom. I'm not shooting at you.
Don't take the video.
Oh, okay. I was doing that. I think that might be an FBI building too. I'm not sure. Wait, you want to wait? Wait. You want to wait? Well, I think we can go now. Let's go.
Oh my goodness.
How long do you think it will last? Well, I think it depends on each country, DFC Garage. I mean, obviously, I'm not smart enough to know for sure, but here's what I've heard. I've heard that in the US, from experts, they think it's going to last 6 months.
Oh no!
That it's going to be it's going to be serious for maybe 3 or 4 months, but it's going to last maybe 6 months, but it could be longer.
You think that's already started?
Yeah, and then DFC Garage says that to make a vaccine, it's going to take 1.5 years, because you can make a vaccine very easily, but the thing is you have to test it with animals first. There's a long process of testing before you can finalize and approve.
That gets you tired.
Yeah, a little bit.
It does.
I'm tired. Yeah.
I don't like this damn thing. It weighs about 90 pounds, I don't know
You
why
need some wheels for it. You need wheels. You need some wheels.
Yeah, but I'm tall, man. You gotta...
Yeah.
I'm getting too old. I'll be 70. Use it young.
Good luck.
Good luck to you. See you later.
Have a good one. So, yeah, if the vaccine is coming in a year and a half, who knows if it's mushroom? You just had a drop of saliva drop down on your coat right there from your mask. Your mask is leaking drool.
Here?
Yeah, there's some like water vapor on there. It's kind of gross.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, so I mean, I think it'll be different for different countries. I think it'll end in China sooner.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
When I breathe, I can still smell something happening. Is that means this is not good quality or it's not working?
Oh no, the stuff that you smell is the size of atoms. You know, very small.
I can smell the weed when we come across case.
I know that, but that doesn't mean that it's not working. Because the particles of air that can make you sick are larger than particles that make smell.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Lolly says, okay, so let me try to, Lolly is a lady from France. She's always here. Even no matter what time it is, I don't think she sleeps. I'm concerned that she might be a bot, but a very realistic one who sometimes does super chats. Anyway, she's cool. She's my favorite French bot. Anyway, when you see numbers, for example, in the US, 100 people have coronavirus, 800 people have coronavirus, you have to know that it's way, way more than that. Wow, this lighting is good. Makes me look magical. Because they're not testing enough. So you shouldn't trust what they say. You should assume that any number that you're shown is actually much, much larger. You can multiply it by 5 or 10 if you want to, or more. Just because if you don't test, you don't know. But if you're seeing cases show up and people come to the hospital, and you know people are staying at home when they're sick, you can get an estimate, right? So I would say any number that you see in the United States, any number you see in Italy, it's going to be way, way more than that. So sometimes I think people in New York are not scared enough because they say, oh, it's only a few hundred cases. No, friends, it's way more than that. And if you assume that it's only 200...
For people who are saying that, they're not your friends.
They're not your friends. Or they're dummies. One or the other. They're either not your friend or a dummy. So that's what causes it to spread more quickly, and that sort of rapid spread that happens much more quickly is what causes it to last, for example, 4 months or 6 months. And so, I mean, what if it lasts a year and a half to the time we get a vaccine for it? What if it really lasts that long? Well, I think that if that's the case, depending on how long it lasts, the world is going to be a very different place at that time, because people will be sort of living under this this scary thing for that long. It's going to change the economy, it's going to change people's behavior, it's going to change a lot of things. So that's my feeling. Yeah, and there will be a big recession, exactly. DFC Garage says there will be a big recession. In fact, there already is a big recession. The US stock market is dropping, travel companies suffering, many businesses suffering, small businesses shutting down. It's bad news. Yeah, scary stuff. The governor of Ohio, which is the state I come from, he just said it's probably 100,000 people in Ohio alone. And even if he's wrong, even if that's way more than it actually is, that's smart, because then at least you get people into the right frame of mind, right? It's better safe than sorry. People are protesting, meeting, even though the coronavirus is everywhere. I know. So I'm in a book club, right? And we meet every Saturday. And I said, because I thought it was obvious, to the leader of my book club, hey, I still want to meet, but what if we just did a Google Hangouts, you know? Can we just do Google Hangouts? And he said, no, I want to meet up physically. And I don't understand why we can't just meet online, you know, because all we're doing is talking about the book, and we could even record it. It might be interesting, and I just think it's very, very weird. Even this morning, he said, "Hey, does anybody want to get together for lunch and go to the Strand bookstore? Anybody? Anybody?"
I think that's fine.
I mean, it's fine to meet people one-to-one, I suppose, or even small groups, but I didn't go just because I don't want to get on the subway, right? Kind of scary to get on the subway. But the thing that I am really worried about is not even the recession. It's not even big companies not doing well and the stock market not doing well. The thing that I really worry about is not getting enough pizza. What about you? No, the thing that I really worry about is people who... Here we go? Let's go. People who are in jobs that can't work at home, people who can't make their salaries, and then their lives basically explode because they can't pay rent and they can't pay for basic items and they can't pay for their kids' needs, whatever it may be. That's the scariest possible thing for those people, especially people with kids, especially people who get laid off and can't work. What are they going to do? That's really... Can you imagine if that was you? A lot of people in America especially, they have $5,000 of credit card debt. They have $10,000 on their car loan. They have $20,000, $30,000 on their student loan. They have a job where they barely make enough money to pay their bills. And when suddenly their job doesn't make enough, or they can't go to their job, or they get laid off because their company is not making enough, and their job is the type of job you can't do at home, then those people are screwed. And so, yes, the government needs to help people. I think that's the only option. Now, there are a couple of different options. One option is something called UBI, which stands for Universal Basic Income. Now, UBI is basically the idea that the government sends out a check. Now, if you do UBI, you have to send it to everybody because it would cost a lot of money to pay for the staff to figure out who's poor enough, right? So you have to send it to everybody. So basically, just like I got a census form in the mail, the government starts sending out checks, maybe $1,000 or $2,000 every month to every household in the United States. People can cover their basic expenses, just helps people out. That's one option. I think it's pretty good, but some people don't like that idea.
Do you want to check out hand sanitizer?
Yeah, we can check. I think Mushroom, I think you don't like the UBI idea.
I don't like it.
The other idea that I've heard is the government gives out very low 1% or 2% or even zero interest loans to people and small businesses, maybe $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 for businesses. Yeah. And the government gives out loans and then people can pay it back, or optionally, they can give up their tax refunds for the next few years to pay it back automatically. That's another option. Another thing I've heard is what's called, I think it's called
What the heck is
prorated tax refunds. So in other words, you can estimate what your tax refund will be, not just this year, but next year. And then they'll send you that amount too. And then next year you don't get a tax refund because you took it early because you need it now.
That's good.
So that works too. So,
as long as you don't send money to individual households.
but why not though?
I don't support that.
Why don't you? I kind of like that idea.
I don't like that because it's very simple.
I know.
People will have some laziness during this time. People will say, okay, I enjoy that. I don't have to work and I have enough money.
No, but that's not enough money though. $2,000 is enough to live barely.
So what? Yeah. So that's the second question. Even if it's not enough, why the government is going to do that?
Well, because then you can at least pay your rent and you won't live on the street,
I know, but people live on the street anyways. How do you help individuals? You know, you have to use your own effort you have to do by yourself sometimes. You couldn't just relate to the government 100%.
Don't rely on the government completely. Yeah.
Of course. Why the government? There's no purpose for the government to
Right.
send you $1,000 for individual person because that doesn't make any sense for me though. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry for the people who understand who interested about that point, but for me it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I know what you mean. It's important to rely on yourself and be able to take care of yourself, but in this case,
yes, for some of people, they are enough for having 1,000 every month
Yeah.
as an income. They will feel so comfortable, and they'll
Some
just,
people,
okay,
yeah.
I wish this is not happening. I wish this is not ending. I wish this is happening for 2 more years, 3 more years. That's not a very good.
that might be pretty rare, though. I don't know. I think it could help out a lot of people, but I also think that the other ideas could work as well. I'm not sure what the answer is. I don't think I'm smart enough to know. But I think that they have to do something, right?
Yeah.
What's going on? The company didn't make vaccines for SARS and MERS because it's not profitable. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's another problem is once the virus goes away, then they just say, we'll give up. This is pretty expensive making this vaccine. Why don't I just give up on that and go to the next thing, you know? That's tough because the major pharmaceutical companies are for profit. So obviously they're going to make decisions based on what is good business and what is not. And they don't have an incentive or a reason to do something that isn't profitable. So if these viruses go away on their own, then vaccines are never made for them anyway. And that's a problem too. So why isn't there, a government program that's either working on the vaccines or at least pushing the private companies, giving them some kind of incentive to make them, Because a year and a half, honestly, it'll probably be too late. By the time they put in all that effort, they make the virus vaccine, and then what? And then they'll stop again because it's not profitable. They say, the problem is over. The virus went away. Don't worry about it. And then something else will happen and it'll be even worse in the future. Yeah, well, we didn't plan it necessarily to be the main topic, Yuri, but I guess it kind of is. I'm kind of focused on it these days. I'm sorry. I won't do coronavirus stuff forever. Don't worry. Although I am posting a video later today. A lady sent me a crazy story of escaping from a city near Wuhan, and she escaped. And she sent me the story by video, and I'm going to be sharing it. It's pretty interesting. What's the thing with toilet paper? Yeah, everyone's looking for toilet paper. It's pretty crazy. I guess everyone is worried that they won't have anything to wipe with. That'll be pretty bad. I think I've got plenty, though. But the question was raised earlier, why is it toilet paper and not food that people are most worried about? And the answer is, I don't know. That's a pretty good question. I don't know. Oh, there's a lady with a mask. That's good to see. There's a guy with weird clothes coming this way. Flip the camera around. A clown, maybe? Interesting. Interesting. Hey, Mushroom, you can go in. I'm going to stay outside again. Pretty heavy.
I kind of want to ask your phone number just in case we're not able to go out and get some alcohol. So
I think we'll be able to. You can go in.
you?
Oh, you go ahead. Mushroom's going in. Yeah, that's the other thing. It does change quite a lot. So, will a vaccine even be effective at that point? Who knows? I'm going to catch up on some questions I might have missed here. Hey, look. It's the only telephone in the entire world right here at this intersection. This is the world's only telephone. The only telephone in the entire planet of Earth is right here. Yeah, it does. I mean, it's usually definitely busier than this. Now, Queens is not that crazy anyway. This is one borough of New York City. It's usually quieter than, for example, Manhattan. But yes, it usually is busier. Why do you guys not get infected? What do you mean, why do we not get infected? I don't know what that means. Maybe because we wear masks and we're careful? Who knows? P.S. The virus changes form from place to another. Wuhan's is different than the one in Europe, I heard. Yeah, that might be true. Those are called strains of a virus. Why is everybody obsessed with toilet paper? Yeah, it's a good question, Amy. Because toilet paper is delicious, you know? You gotta eat something. Very nutritious, very delicious. Antivirotic called Remdesivir, which is tested as anti-coronaviruses based on discovery in famous chemists. I'm not quite sure I understand, Yarmila, there. Not quite sure. The company didn't make vaccines. Lolly Lolly says, do you think people in general are aware of the danger posed by the virus? I think people are aware, but they're not really still taking it seriously yet. I really do think people are aware. They know what's going on. I mean, it's on the news all the time, but I don't think they're aware on a sort of deep level. They don't really get it. You know what I mean? Some people know about something, but they don't really feel it. Whereas I think I might feel it a little more just because I've talked to so many friends in China. I've talked to so many people about it. So I think I have maybe a little bit more sensitivity to it, just because I have more of a history with it. All of my friends in China, many of them are still staying at home. So this is a good background. This is a band picture. This is my band. It's called. My band is it's a electronic folk coronavirus band, and the name is called Get Away From Me. That's the name of my band. It's called Stay Away. It's called Stay Away From Me. That's what it's called. And this is my band picture right here. With Frozen screenshot. Someone make a band cover photo for me, please. Electronic folk coronavirus music, and the name is Stay Away From Me. That's what it's called. That's not funny. All right. Yarmila says, I'm proud of myself as yesterday I watched NBC News and New York Governor and also Trump, and I understand 80% of their speeches. Oh, that's great. That's great. Congratulations. That's cool. Any friends that's been already cured? Well, I only know friends of friends who got sick, and they were elderly, and they were the friends of friends, and they passed away. So I don't know anybody who got it and got better, but I don't know that many people who got it and got sick. I think it was only 2 or 3 people who got it and got sick. So, yeah. I don't have a very big sample size. Apparently, it's the death rate is something like 3 or 4%. But it's different in different places because there are different what are called risk factors. Risk factors means, oh, you got some flowers. Nice flowers. What are those? Yellow roses?
Yeah. Here we go. What are you doing?
Are those for me?
For myself, unfortunately.
Oh. Do you need help carrying any of that?
As long as we can walk a little faster.
Yeah, that's fine.
I got a hand.
Did they have hand sanitizer?
Yes.
They did.
$10.
For one?
Yeah.
So they're raising the prices.
Obviously.
That's evil. They shouldn't do that. I hate that. I really think that's evil.
But I just got one. Medium size, not a small little one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really stupid. I mean.
Yeah, that is stupid. I think it's evil to be opportunistic and raise prices on someone. You should have the regular price.
That's the supermarket, the owner's fault. Maybe they probably import those in America.
Oh, okay. So you think maybe they're just setting it at their normal margin? Yeah, maybe. Yuri says young people who get it maybe won't be affected so badly. Yeah, that's right, Yuri. From what I heard, younger people, children even, if you catch it, you're less likely to experience bad symptoms. Although there have been people in their 30s and 40s who got pretty sick, I've heard, and nearly died. But even people in their 50s and 60s are high risk and are in danger. So it's not only that, yeah, that's right, Queen in the background. Oh no, the video is going to be monetized because of that, demonetized. See, that's what bothers me about YouTube.
I think that's fair.
Something paying, but I can't control what plays in the background, I can't make the world royalty-free music.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Shroom. Mushroom. Those are nice.
How many people like these flowers?
How many people like these flowers?
And I guess how much is it?
Guess how much these are. Do you know how much they are?
I do.
Good, that's good. So they look nice. Can you smell them? Can I smell? Yeah, it's good. It smells like a box of new pencils.
How much?
How much do you guys think these pencil smelling yellow flowers are? DFC Drew Garage says $6. Of course.
$6.
Is that right?
So you couldn't even buy a hand sanitizer for $6.
Yeah. It's not even enough to buy one bottle of hand sanitizer. I'm gonna guess, Mushroom, I'm gonna guess $300. Is that too much?
Only if I'm a stupid, it will spend $300 by.
Amy's saying $20.
$20?
Yeah. So it's too high?
Yeah.
So it's between 6 and 20. Okay.
$9.
9.
Yeah, $8.99.
$8.99. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I know.
That's not too bad.
Make you feel happier.
They make you feel happy. Okay.
Happiness is.
Rolfie, she's giving Luke a hint. She's the kind of girl that loves roses. Now you know how to make her day special.
Oh, yeah?
He's saying that you're hinting to me that you like roses and that if I ever want to make your day special, I can buy you flowers.
Oh no, I'll be more direct.
Is that accurate? If I surprised you with flowers, would you be happy about it?
Maybe for a little while, but not.
Yeah.
It's not a man thing.
It's hard to please you.
Yeah.
You have high standards.
Not a high standard. What are you talking about, Luke?
You bought yourself these flowers. Here's a question.
I bought this because I feel happy.
Would
No
it-
matter who bought it for me.
So, well, here's an interesting question. Would it be better if I bought them or you bought them?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay. All right. It's good to know. Now I know.
So
If you
now,
buy me some flowers, I'll be happy because you're going to pay for it.
Right.
That's the only thing that I care about.
If I buy flowers for $8.99, will you transfer me $8.99?
I won't.
Oh. Okay.
So that's the reason you won't buy me anymore?
Right.
Okay. That is fair.
Exactly. I mean, I'll buy them. I'll do the action, but unfortunately,
You ask me to transfer money?
unfortunately, I do need to be recompensated for that. Yeah.
Those are beautiful. I can't wait to smell it.
They smell like pencils.
Oh yeah, what kind of pencil?
New pencils,
Okay.
unsharpened. A new box of unsharpened pencils. You smell again? Let me smell. Smell. Let me smell.
Smells like a garden.
Smells like pencils.
No, it don't.
Oh no, this smells like baby carrots.
What?
Yeah.
Baby
All right, guys. we're getting close to our house, and the internet always stops in the elevator. So we're gonna have to stop here, guys. Thanks for joining us on our adventure to the Japanese store. I appreciate you coming along, asking interesting questions, and sharing your opinions. There's going to be another live class tomorrow, probably 1 p.m. Eastern time. If you'll walk daily so much, you will be very exposed. You don't have a store nearby. We have a lot of stuff at home, though. A lot of stuff. I walk in the cemetery. Nobody in the cemetery. I go for my daily walk in the cemetery. All the people there are already dead, so there's no risk. Yeah, my arms hurt too. All right, guys, don't forget to hit the like button, please and thank you. Also, please subscribe so that you can see future videos and posts, and check out my links in the description. There's a big sale going on for the courses on Udemy. It is home, stay home or staying home. I forget which one. So don't forget to check that out. See you guys in the next one. See you tomorrow.